Nottinghamshire Police placed into special measures and asked to urgently produce improvement plan. Why is that? Because the police just aren't investigating crimes. They're just not. Inspectors say the force needs to improve how it manages and carries out effective investigations. Now, I thought that the police were not supposed to just, prevent crimes, but they were supposed to track down the people that committed them and make them face justice and, in an ideal world, pay restitution to the victims. That's the way it should fucking work. I'll go on a rant about that at the end. Don't worry about it. But yeah, and this is the problem, not just in Nottinghamshire, but everywhere. The police are not investigating crimes. If your house gets broken into or anything happens to you, what will happen is the police will turn up, write it all down in their little book, and say, "Thank you very much, madam," and that's the last you ever hear from them ever again. That's how policing works. However, you're not allowed to defend yourself or anything like that. The police advice for if you're being mugged in the street or if someone's trying to break into your house is, phone the police and allow yourself to be robbed. That's genuinely their advice. You're not allowed to fend off attackers anymore. And all that. And then they'll turn up with their little notebooks, write it all down, and then fuck off, and that's it. Your house get burgled, your door's destroyed, your window's smashed, your phone's gone, your nice little Rolex is off your arm. And all that, and just that's it. It's done. Bye-bye. Nothing. Why do you think it's going through the roof? Because all these guys just keep doing it because they're not getting caught. Nottinghamshire Police have been asked to urgently produce an improvement plan after being put into special measures. That's how bad it's gotten. The force has been moved to an enhanced level of monitoring by Watchdog His Majesty's Inspectorate of Constabulary and Fire and Rescue Services. Inspector said the force needs to improve how it manages and carries out effective investigations and doesn't have adequate processes, planning or governance arrangements in place. The thing that the police are supposed to do. The thing that they're supposed to do, they're not doing it. Right? See if they catch someone in the moment, then, perfect, you've got the perp, you've got the evidence, smashing, absolutely fantastic. But those guys are the only ones that really go to jail. Nobody else does. Seriously. Cover, wear gloves and cover your face. You won't get caught. And don't have your phone on you. Yeah, keep your phone on you at all times. I'm not giving you advice like that. It comes after Nottinghamshire Police faced intense criticism over the handling of the case of paranoid schizophrenic Valdo Calocane, who stabbed to death 3 people in Nottingham last June, although HMIC-FRS said the decision was not related. The victims' families welcomed the move and said they hope it gives the city's residents more reassurance in their public safety. Now, have you ever been to Nottinghamshire? A lot of people think, Nottingham of Robin Hood and the big beautiful forest, and it's not like that. Nottingham is a shithole. It's a total shithole. It's full of fucking roadmen. Hey, bruh. Hand over your fucking wallet, yeah? I was gonna... Oi, blood. I don't know why it's so funny. I was going to take your wallet and give it back to the poor, yeah? Are you deaf, blood? I'm a fucking... What the hell happened there? I'm a fucking Murkat sheriff, yeah. My accent's completely off. I'm aware of that. His Majesty's Inspector of Constabulary, Roy Wilshire, said, "We move police forces into an enhanced level of monitoring known as engage when a force is not responding to a concern." So they got put in it because they were told, holy shit, you're the police, do your job. Actually do your job and prevent and investigate crime. And the police ignored them. The police left them on red. The police... Or if it's not managing, mitigating, or eradicating these concerns. The engaged process provides additional scrutiny and support from the Inspectorate and other external organisations in the policing sector to help the force improve and provide a better service for the public. Nottinghamshire Police have been asked to urgently produce an improvement plan and will meet regularly with our inspectors. We will work closely with the force to monitor its progress against these important and necessary changes. The reasons reasons behind the decision are set to be included in the latest inspection report due to be published later this year. Chief Constable Kate Mino said she recognised the serious nature of the findings and had taken urgent action to address the concerns raised, including ensuring all of the initial recommendations that relate to her investigations and support for victims have been completed. Victims of crime are at the heart of everything that we do, she said. The team have reviewed all of the cases identified to ensure that the victims of crime are receiving regular updates and that these are being correctly recorded. They're doing that now. Because for the longest time, it was just you reported your crime to the police and they just wrote it down in their little notebook and that was it. That was it. There was even one time where I got arrested, right? I was walking home from Tesco, I had the headphones in, I was caught sleeping, caught slipping, right? And I get jumped, just a bunch of guys getting their jollies. But I gave as good as I got, right? I did, there was 5 of them in action. I did not bad, but I was quite fucked up because at the end of the day, there was 5 of them. This was a long time ago. And I was working at Tesco. I was still in my Tesco uniform and everything. And the police saw it on the cameras and they came and said, "Oh, we saw you fighting them." And I was like, "Mate, I was on my way back home from work. I'm still in my uniform, which is covered in blood now." And all that. I get jumped for like no reason. So yeah, I fought back. And I got arrested because they thought I was starting it. So I got arrested and held in prison overnight. And the annoying thing is it happened right next to the police station in Coatbridge as I was walking home. And I was then released I then got released without charge when they kind of realised that none of the stuff was going to stick. That was really annoying. And again, it's just an example of how useless the police are. The police are just completely fucking useless. Nottinghamshire Police are now one of 6 forces in special measures, along with the country's 2 largest, the Metropolitan Police and West Midlands Police. So, fucking hell, the other 2 major police forces are also in special measures. As well as Devon and Cornwall, Staffordshire and Wiltshire. So they're pretty much all of them. Pretty much every major police force is now in special measures because they've not been doing their job. Nottingham attacks. The force is being investigated by both the Police Watchdog and the Independent Office of Police Conduct and the College of Policing over its handling of the Callocane case, while the victims' families have hit out at its leadership. Leicestershire Police are also being investigated by the IOPC over contact with the killer. Callocane was detained at a high-security hospital for killing university friends Grace O'Malley Kumar and Barnaby Webber, both 19 and 65-year-old school caretaker Ian Coates, after prosecutors accepted his manslaughter plea due to his history of mental illness. The Crown Prosecution Service faced criticism over the decision to not pursue murder charges, prompting Attorney General Victoria Prentice to order a review and ask the Court of Appeal to decide whether Callocane's sentence was too lenient. Last month, Mr. Barnaby's mother, Emma Webber, called for Miss Mino to step aside while allegations of failings are investigated, after it emerged her son was among members of a police WhatsApp group in which graphic details were posted about the killings. After the force was put into special measures, the family said they have been clear in the concerns they have raised, not only in the investigation itself, but also in the failures, missed opportunities, lessons, and poor communication before, during, and after. Our criticisms are aimed at the leadership of both forces and also the management and failures of the SIO and the Nottingham force in charge of our own case, they said in a statement. We welcome the news today that the HMICFRS recognised that Nottingham Police requires intervention and urgent improvement and that they have effectively been placed into special measures. We hope this gives the residents of Nottingham more reassurance in their public safety. So it seems that pretty much every major police force, in England at least, has been placed into special measures because none of them have been doing their job. None of them have actually been trying to prevent crime. Now, the way that policing currently works, apart from you get burgled, you get robbed, and, you're not allowed to do anything to the fucking guy. You could grab him and pin him down on the ground and stuff like that, but then you're very likely to get arrested as well. It's just the way it works in Britain. You can get all your stuff stolen, you can get mugged, you can get beat up, blah, 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 blah. The police will come, write it in their little booklet, and then fuck off, and that's the last you ever hear from them ever again. But on the very rare chance they actually catch the guy that did it, and he actually gets arrested, and he actually gets charged, what will then happen is they will Maybe put him in jail, maybe. You know, maybe he gets a wee daft sentence, or whatever sentence he does get, he'll serve half of it, because, you know, that's just the way it works. Whatever sentence he does get, he'll get half of it, unless the judge institutes a minimum order, but that only really happens in, like, murder or rape trials. You know, really, really serious offences get, like, a minimum sentence order. But and then you have to pay your taxes for that person to get held in prison, and then you receive no restitution whatsoever for the police's failings to protect you from crime. Now, in an ideal world, if instead of the police it was run by private militaries or insurance companies, they would pay you restitutions for their failings. Was your computer stolen from your house because we weren't able to prevent it? Well, as an insurance company, here's the money for a new computer. And where we're going to recover the cost by making this person, you know, work in a factory or somehow work off the restitution that they have committed for their crime, right? And then what will happen is that'll definitely act as a fucking repellent to people committing crimes. Yeah, indentured servitude to pay off the cost of the crime that you committed. That'll work. That's not very libertarian. Well, ideally, that is how it would work. They would have to cover the cost of them imprisoning the person, so they would want to make their money back. I'm just saying, that's a good way to get people to not commit crimes. Or if that's the case, then just don't do it. But then some people might turn around and make the argument that it might make rich people. How much is a murder? Cool, I can murder. I'll just pay it off. Like, no, it wouldn't work like that. There's a whole argument about it. See if you want to learn more about it, you can download it as a free PDF, I believe, from the Mises Institute. It's by Hans Hermann Hoppe. It's called The Private Production of Self-Defense. If you want more, it's not really a book. It's more of an essay, right? You'll be able to read it in a day. Right, I advise you to go and look that up if you want to see how policing should be done. Basically, if the police fail, then they owe you restitution. If they don't catch the person, they owe you restitution. Instead of just not really bothering to do their job, and then if they do catch the person, you have to pay for their imprisonment with your taxes. And then they'll probably only serve half their sentence anyway. And that's if the police even do bother to actually investigate it in the first place.